I have got an opinion on the Sor Alex Ferguson news about him now being let go of his duties as an ambassador to Manchester United. It's controversial and there's a few people that won't agree with me on it. Welcome along to Forever United TV, everybody. We are catching up. We didn't have a morning show earlier on because I am on my way to London right now. I'm about to jump on the tube to head into TalkSport Studios. All of the footage from that to come on the channel later on. So here is the update and where we're actually at with United news already. Quite a bit, actually. Alonso Davis, don't even talk. Garbage. Sane, no, sorry. Who do we think we actually are? And what's happening with Sor Alex Ferguson? He is going to be let go of his duties as an ambassador a global ambassador for Manchester United. Ineos are cutting every single corner but the one that is needed. I'm not going to go in on Haag on this one. This isn't his managerial show, this one. This show is about a former manager, the one that could cut it at Manchester United, and that is Sor Alex Ferguson. My opinion on Sor Alex Ferguson. Oh, by the way, everybody, make sure you have subscribed, make sure you give the video a like, and make sure you get your comments in below on this, because I don't think you're going to agree with me. Or maybe you are of the thinking that I am. £2.1 million a year Sor Alex Ferguson is paid by Manchester United. Thanks, Fergie. Time's up. See you later. Honestly, it sounds brutal, but when are we going to let go of Nostalgia FC? I love Fergie. I love what he's done for Manchester United. I think he has set the foundations and the standards that this football club should be upkeeping. But what has he done to benefit Manchester United since he's retired? I want him to have his seat at Old Trafford. I want him to come to as many games as he wants to. Just give him that seat and don't charge him anything. Give him whatever he wants when he wants to come to Old Trafford. But you don't pay him £2.1 million a year when really he's offering nothing to the football club. If you're talking about thousands of staff being let go by Manchester United, and you've got Sor Alex Ferguson there, yeah, who has done a great job at the club, but this was a decade ago. And he's got 2.1 million. Could you not be putting 2.1 million of investment into Manchester United's academy to helping them progress on the pitch? There is money that can be spent at this football club that was being spent stupidly before. I'm not saying, and please don't misquote me on this one, that Sor Alex Ferguson didn't deserve the red carpet treatment at Manchester United. He deserves absolutely everything. He deserves to be lauded up to high heaven whenever he steps foot on any ground that Manchester United own. The doors should be open. People need to bow at the man's feet in respect for what he achieved at Manchester United, but not for 2.1 million. I had no idea that he was paid that much. Adam Crafton from The Athletic has come out and broke this story this morning. A few people have now gone into detail as to how much Ferguson was actually on. And I think it's right. See you later, Fergie. I'm sorry, not for 2.1 million. I'm afraid that money can be well invested elsewhere into something that's going to help Manchester United progress on the pitch. This was definitely an employment from the Glazers. The Glazers, who had Ferguson covering up every single crack in their armour and their whole reign as Manchester United's sole ownership model. This is what Sor Alex Ferguson did, so I'm not surprised that the Glazers have actually done this for Sor Alex and give him absolutely everything and paid him over £2 million a year. For what? It sounds really petty of me. And I don't want to talk in any sort of bad light about Sor Alex Ferguson. I respect him more than any other man on this planet. I really do. But we need to stop walking down Nostalgia Road. We need to stop being a history football club. Why is Sor Alex here? What's he doing? What's he benefiting? Nothing that's going to help us progress on the pitch. And Ineos, to their credit, on this, I have to give it him, like, they're not afraid to make the brutal call when it comes to Sor Alex Ferguson and taking that money away. I think it's right. And I think he may have well been invited in this week by Sir Jim Radcliffe, and the conversation might have happened then. I do believe that it's the right call, and hopefully they've done it the right way, with all respect to Sor Alex that he deserves. But I think even Sor Alex Ferguson would say, look, what do I need that for? He doesn't need 2.1 million a year to turn up to Old Trafford. I don't know of any extra work he does. He may go on some visits, he may go and do some public appearances and things like that, but I think Sor Alex could probably charge his own money for things like that when he's doing these shows and stuff. I think the man just needs to be left to do what he wants and retire watching football wherever he wants in the world. And I think everybody in world football should welcome him in for nothing and let him do whatever he wants. Not so much do whatever he wants, but let him go and watch whatever he wants for nothing. That's what Sor Alex Ferguson deserves right now. He doesn't need any more money. We all know this. And I feel like Ineos have made the right call here. But it just goes to show, like, they've made every other call again apart from the obvious one, the one that needed to be done. So where this is all right, I can see it really pissing off a lot of Man United fans, because it's like, you're taking Fergie's money away, but you're not ready to sack this clown Erik ten Hag for the standards that he's upkeeping at Manchester United right now. That's where a lot of fans are going to look at this. The reality is United don't need Fergie doing what he's doing. The other reality is Ineos have not acted on where they should have acted, and it's just going to wind people up a little bit because of them doing this to Sor Alex Ferguson. But look, at the end of the day, all that matters for Man United right now is what happens on the pitch, and that, I feel, is where Ineos have made the mistake. Like we've covered it plenty of times. But United, apparently, according to Florian Plettenberg, moving on with the news, are all but ready to buy another holding midfielder. Or maybe even go for another fullback, as in an attacking fullback like Alonso Davis, 23-year-old. I'm sure, like, I've just checked the news and gone through it and seen this story, and I've gone, I think Alonso Davis is on his way to Real Madrid for nothing on a free transfer in the summer. If United want to compete for these players, I'm sorry, yeah, United are a lure, but younger players are not going to come to Manchester United. United have this whole thing like, yeah, players are still coming to us. Players still want to come to Manchester United. Yeah, because we were basically on the cusp of qualifying for the Champions League. And maybe 1 year out of the Champions League was enough for certain players. Back in the day, like when Pogba arrived at United and certain players like that. Every other player is a player at the end of his career. Like your Falcaos, like your Zlatan Ibrahimovic's, your Bastian Schweinsteigers, your Cavani's. All of these players, they weren't really bothered. They've been there, they've done it, they've won it. An up-and-coming young player, if you think you're going to walk into a negotiating room and try and push the positives of Manchester United right now for a young player who has got Champions League football right now and is pretty much moving to a club that's going to pay him more and guarantee him Champions League football and winning Champions League football to, we might be there in 4 years effing time, according to Omar Barada, then you can say, bye-bye, Alfonso. It's a nothing story. Put it to bed, move on, and let's get realistic with where Man United are actually at. Leroy Sané. Do we want him? Do we need him? Do we want another winger? I mean, for God's sake, are we not going to sign Ahmed up to a contract yet? What the bleeding hell is that story all about? And seriously, when it comes to transfer stuff at this stage of the season, I pay no attention to it at all. The only serious transfer news that I think could happen for Manchester United is possibly dealing with the fullback situation like we spoke about yesterday with Alvaro Fernandez possibly. And maybe a few players leaving. Like Antony is supposedly going to be going on loan in January or sold in January or gone in the summer. Ajax are interested in him. I think Crystal Palace and Newcastle were the other two sides interested in Antony. See you later, mate. Just go. Get out of here. That's the interesting transfer news. Not about players coming in. United are not going to bring in another holding midfielder. They're not going to get... bring in another one now after they chased Manuel Ugarte. It's supposed, I seen a story come up last night that really boiled my piss, honestly. The Ten Hag is going to intensify integration of Manuel Ugarte in the coming weeks. But he's got all the time in the bleeding world. Have you not seen where we are right now? And in that same account comes out and says that Ten Hag will be sacked if United lose the next 2 games against Brentford and Fenerbahce. Complete and utter bollocks. We know that the pressure is on Ten Hag right now, and we're waiting for Ineos to act. I really couldn't give a toss about what game it is right now. I've already had to succumb to the fact that Ineos have kept him after this so-called meeting that happened last week. I've settled into having Ten Hag here right now, and if it goes wrong, I know what's coming. They're going to be forced into making a decision they clearly don't want to make. It's all on the results. So if Ten Hag wins the next 2 games, it'll carry on for a bit longer. And it's a lame excuse as to how a football club should be run, especially one the same size as Manchester United. It is laughable. It really is Man United's situation right now. I'm heading into TalkSport to have a chat with Flex. We're going to do the Inside Devils podcast with them. at TalkSport, so really looking forward to getting in there. It'll be interesting to see, and I'll try and get some footage of people's opinions on where they really see Manchester United at. Maybe some more people in and around the media world as well. I can't promise anything, we'll see later on obviously, but still, I'm looking at this now, at the situation, and just to round everything up again for this video, and cheers for tuning in everybody. I do apologise again that the morning video wasn't there, but we are doing content on the go. We're a one-man band in me, and I'm just doing it on the fly. You gotta do it sometimes. That's what YouTube is, and that's what people love about YouTube. It's the variety, isn't it? But yes, Sir Alex Ferguson being let go of his global ambassadorial role at Manchester United, and United cutting £2.1 million worth of wages off the wage bill. Ka-ching! Smart decision. Why wasn't it done 5 years ago? Like I said, because at the Glazers and their ownership time at Manchester United, sole ownership time, Sir Alex Ferguson was the only reason that they looked half decent. He covered up gaping cracks, craters, in fact, in Manchester United's armour and how that football club was being run. And that's why he got the deal off them. Ineos have come in and they're trying to cut everything. If you're going to get rid of all of the staff and everybody who really needs money and needs a job that were employed wrongly or rightly by the Glazer ownership model, they still had that job there, they were still working, then you're going to have to make some big cuts elsewhere as well. There's a lot of staff that's left Manchester United that didn't want to go. So Alex Ferguson is not needed at this football club. He is welcome whenever he wants. But as a paid member of nothing, see you later, Fergie. Thank you so much. I respect you more than any other man on the planet. But for 2.1 million, plough that into the academy, please. Let's get some more MUTV cameras watching the academy team so we can actually follow this club properly instead of looking at the business side of things, shall we? And listening to all the PR. MUTV needs to be putting out more academy games. I can't believe that's been cut with all of these costs. 2.1 million can easily go towards that, or even an enhancement level of it. Alonso Davis and then rumours Sane, poo-poo, not happening. Don't be stupid, like I said in the video. Not a chance in hell there. Do we want another holding midfielder? No, I'd rather see Coney come through. You've just bought a Gata who you still haven't integrated in yet. Apparently you are going to now in the next 2 weeks because it's the right time. Forget about the first 2 months of the season. They don't count, obviously. And the worst start ever in our history. For God's sake, honestly, sometimes the headlines, I don't actually believe it is the club. I think it's all made up crap to make United look worse. So I'll hold counsel on that. But if any of it is true, then like, share and subscribe to Forever United TV, everybody. I'm Adam. I'll see you later on. I don't know what's happening in terms of when I'm going to get back from London, but I'll keep you all posted. And the content will come up like it is now. I always make it happen, people. Cheers for tuning in.